Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to learn how to build a 4-way Honeyblock flying machine. The items you'll need for this build are 12 Honeyblocks, 4 observers, 4 sticky pistons, building blocks, and plenty of buttons. So this tutorial has 3 parts. The first part is building the body out of Honeyblocks. The second part is building the engine with the sticky pistons and observers. And the third part, we're going to go over how to operate the machine. Without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is build up a couple blocks. Just like this, so we can hop up here and start building above the ground. You want to build a W shape out of Honeyblocks like this. It'll be 5 Honeyblocks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And that is our W. Now, we want to build a second W facing the opposite direction. And we want it to be tangential to the first W. Just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we have 2 W's facing opposite directions. Now on the lower W, on the center Honeyblock right here, we want to place another Honeyblock facing up. On the top W, on the upper W, we want to place another Honeyblock facing down on the center Honeyblock. Let's place 2 sticky pistons just like this. They should be on the side of the sticking up Honeyblock, but they should be facing the other W. Next, place 2 observers powering the space behind the 2 sticky pistons, just like this. Now you should have something like this, 2 sticky pistons and 2 observers, all around your Honeyblock right here. Now we'll do the same thing for the upper W. But for the upper W, we need to put these pistons and observers below the Honeyblock. So here's the Honeyblock that's sticking out. Just like the top, we'll do 2 sticky pistons facing the opposite W. And then 2 observers powering the backs of those pistons. Just like that. So the first thing you need to do is to check that it's not stuck to any other blocks. So we'll go to the bottom of the machine and just check that there aren't any blocks that are sticking to the Honeyblocks. This looks good. If there are any blocks that are sticking to the Honeyblocks, you need to remove those. Now the first thing you need to do is choose which direction you want to go. Let's go this direction. Find which piston is pointing in this direction. We placed 4 pistons, each facing different directions. All we need to do is find the piston that's facing this direction, and that would be this piston. So, in order to activate this piston, we need to place a solid block behind that piston. Excellent. Now, we also need to find the piston that's facing the opposite direction as this piston that we just activated. And that would be this piston. Let's activate that. Now, all we need to do is just start the machine. If we want to go this way, all we need to do is place a button right on top of this piston, and then press it. As you can see, we are moving, and we will not stop until you tell the machine to stop. To tell the machine to stop, you take a solid block and place it on the front half of the machine. This is the front half, and this would be the back half. Once you place a block on the front half, the entire machine will stop. If you want to go this way now, just place a button on the piston that faces this way, and then you will start going in that direction. And we are moving in this direction now. Again, to stop it, we just need to place a block on the front half of the machine. Make sure it's touching a honey block. And we can get rid of it now. But what if we want to change directions? What if we want to go in this direction and this direction? Then we need to switch the machine. Let's get rid of these two solid blocks, which would be this one and this one. And we'll place one behind this piston, which goes that way, and that piston, which goes that way. And I'll put one right there. Awesome. Now we are set to go this direction and this direction. So if we'd like to go this direction, just throw a button on this piston, and then just press the button. And as you can see, we're moving in this direction. Again, stop the machine by putting a solid block on the front half. Alright. Now what if I want to go this direction? Well, you just place a button on the piston and then push the button, right? But oh no, I can't reach this piston. It's buried in there. What do I do now? Well, there's no worries, because you don't have to put it on the piston. You can also put it on the observer that is behind that piston. Because if you put a button on this observer, that'll power this block, which will power that piston anyway. So let's just go ahead and put it on the observer, and we're now moving this way. So as you can see, we can move in all 4 horizontal directions with this machine. However, you can't move this machine up or down at all without disassembling it. So whatever height you build the machine at is the height that the machine will stay at. So if you're on a normal survival world, I suggest you build this machine at about layer 110. This way it'll avoid most of the mountains and tall trees and tall objects that you may come across. Oh, another thing about using this machine is that you must be very careful about your render distance. My render distance is currently set to 6 chunks, which is extremely small. If you set it to very high, you might experience a lot of lag, and then you will not be able to stand on the machine. When you're riding on this machine, you must also remember to stand on the honey blocks. If you do not stand on the honey blocks, then you will not be carried with the machine. That's why if you use slime blocks, you actually can't get that. And that's all I have to say for the 4-way flying honey block machine. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're able to successfully build this machine in your own world as well. And with that, have a good one, guys.